1.2 Judicial Accountability. So, this topic is in news because for the first time in the history of India, Orissa Government High Court has published a report on its yearly performance. Now, the question arises, what is meant by the term judicial accountability? So, it is a mechanism which makes the judges and courts responsible and accountable for their behavior and decisions with the constitutional standards or legal standards. In short, judicial accountability is the judges and the courts should be 100% accountable and efficient. So, now this judicial accountability is strengthened by the constitutional instrument called the principle of separation of power. Under this principle, the judiciary, executive, and legislature are made independent, and all of them have the power to question upon others' accountability without involving into them. But the sad part of the judiciary, which is the protector of fundamental rights, interpreter of constitution, is it is influenced by the political and economic entities, which is leading to the decrease in the judicial accountability. On the other side, Article 235 strengthens judicial accountability. The district courts, other subordinate courts are controlled only by the high courts. So, but still, we can see the lack of judicial accountability. Now, the question is, why do we need this judicial accountability? Look at this box. Four major reasons are provided regarding the need of judicial accountability. One is to reduce pendency of cases. See, judgments regarding anything takes up to a maximum period of 6 to 20 years. It also might increase the years. Think about a person who is in jail and has not committed to any crime. He has to be in jail until the Supreme Court gives judgment, and it can take up to 30 years also. That person is undergoing punishment for the offense which he has not committed, and the grievance of that person is just due to the lack of judicial accountability. So think, judicial accountability can save lakhs of people by providing the correct judgment at the correct time. And the next is lack of effective mechanism to enforce accountability of Supreme Court. The population of the country is increasing, but there is no judges. There is no increase in the number of judges. The number of judges are still the same. For many decades in the district courts, subordinate courts, high courts, and Supreme Courts, there is no proper support from the government to improve the efficiency and infrastructure of the courts. These are some of the reasons which limit the judicial accountability. And the third is due to lack of judgment processing, many of them are opting illegal solutions for their problems. So, to ensure the faith and trust of the citizens, judicial accountability is needed. And the fourth thing is judicial accountability improve efficiency, transparency, and quality judgments. Okay, so these are the needs of judicial accountability. Now, so these are about how judicial accountability is needed. So now, let's look into the issues of this judicial accountability. See, the first is collegium system. There is an issue with this collegium system. Now, collegium system means the system which is laid down for appointing the judges of Supreme Court, High Court, District Courts, and other subordinate courts. There is no proper law which can regulate the appointment of judges, and here this collegium system violates the principles of checks and balances, and nepotism is on rise. So, there is lack of accountability in this collegium system itself. And the second issue is the conduct of judges. Many judges are engaged in corruption and post retirement jobs. See, judges once retired should not work into any other institution, but even the retired judges are working. So, this lacks judicial accountability. People lose their faith and trust if they continue to do such activities. And the next is in-house functioning. Here, the functions of the court which should be done formally and transparently are done in an informal way, like allocation of cases, judicial appointments, etc. So such actions can make people to lose faith and trust upon this judiciary. Okay, here this in-house functioning means doing all such operations which should be done formally are done informally. So that is in-house functioning. And the fourth issue is information asymmetry. So there is an information asymmetry. Judiciary has kept itself out of the RTI area. Thus, it restricts the people to avail information regarding the cases and the decisions taken by the judges. And the fifth is judicial overreach. See, here, when the judiciary acts against the principle of separation of powers, then that can be called as judicial overreach. So there are some instances of judicial overreach like scrapping of National Judicial Appointment Commission Act. So these are some of the aspects which are related to this judicial overreach. And the next is pendency. This is the other main issue of this judicial accountability. So it has grown up to, the pendency has grown up to 2.8% from 2010 to 2020. As of September 2021, there are 4.5 cases pending across India. So all these are the reasons which is deteriorating the public trust and faith on judiciary. Now let's look into the steps and or initiatives that are taken to promote judicial accountability. So here, first is in-house procedure. So remember, in-house functioning and in-house procedure is different. Okay. In-house functioning is informal way of allocating cases, judicial appointments, etc. Whereas here, in-house procedure means the CJI has to look into the complaint against the judges. This is called in-house procedure. Okay. There is a difference between in-house procedure and in-house functioning, remember. And next is Memorandum of Procedure 2016. It has laid down to bring transparency in the judicial appointments and setting up a permanent secretariat in Supreme Court for maintaining the records of judges. But this Memorandum of Procedure is under the process and it is not implemented till now. Okay. The next is Judicial Standard and Accountability Bill 2020. So here, as per this bill, the judges should declare their assets. And next is they have to follow judicial standards. The third is the bills establishes processes for the removal of judges of Supreme Court and High Court. And the fourth is in 2009, Supreme Court and High Court resolved to publish voluntary declaration of these assets. So this is about the Judicial Standards and Accountability Bill. So again, I'll tell you, under this bill, first point is the judges should declare their assets. The second condition is they have to follow the judicial standards. The third condition is this bill should establish a process regarding the removal of Supreme Court judges and High Court judges. And these are the three important perspectives of this bill. And in 2009, the Supreme Court and High Court has resolved to publish voluntary declaration for their assets. The Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct. So this was adopted in 2002. Here, the Bangalore Principles of Judicial Conduct means the standards for the ethical conduct of judges. impartiality, integrity, propriety, equality, competence, and diligence are the six core values of this Bangalore principle of judicial conduct. Remember, so this is just the standards for the ethical conduct of judges. Okay, and next the fourth one is use of technology. The limbs is legal information management and briefing system. So this is a web based app for monitoring cases which involve the central government for efficiency and transparency. So they started using technology to monitor the legal processes of the case. Now let us look into this box. Here it tells about the difference between judicial independence and judicial accountability. So here judicial independence means the judiciary making its own judgments without the influence of executive or legislature. This includes the act like security of tenure of judges. No discussions should be made on the conduct of judges in parliament, and the judges should not practice after their retirement. Okay, this is about the judicial independence. And one more thing is, this judicial independence is important, but excessive independence of judiciary can also decrease the accountability. So to balance both, that is the judicial independence and the judicial accountability, some actions like the removal of judges by parliament, revision of review of orders by the courts, ethical code of conduct of judges, etc., are some of the acts taken. Okay, so this is about the difference between both of them, and the conclusion is overall, like Orissa High Court, which provided the annual report for its functioning, all other high courts also should publish its reports upon the functioning of their about their functioning. Okay, to gain the efficiency and public trust of the judiciary.